Evening, guys. Let me know if everything's coming in okay. I've been fighting this computer here the last hour trying to get it to cooperate. I think it's getting towards its end of its life. Did some file digging, tried to do an update. That didn't work, uh, and such. So, who knows? But I'm here again. Uh, Sorry for being away for 2 weeks at a time here, but that's the way it's been lately. Um, I want to talk about, well, the I told you so factor. Okay. Um, Years ago, we were talking about, you know what, Full Monty, I've actually kicked my computer trying to get it to work, okay? And it don't help, okay? But, anyway, years ago, we were talking about the concept of Nesara Gesara and the Great Reset. What is Nasara Gesara? Well, it is at the time I called it the good guys version of global economic reset. Okay. Uh, Hold on. Let me pull something up here on Google just so I get this right. Um, Hold on 1 second. So, Nasara, the National Economic Security and Recovery Act, uh, was proposed by the United States in the 1990s. Uh, I'm reading off of Wikipedia right now, in case you're wondering. Um, Basically, it was going to reform our currency, um, take us off the fiat currencies, fix the instability of the dollar. Okay. And what this was going to do was basically fix the dollar, redistribute massive amounts of wealth from people of rich stature, and uh, basically level the playing field. Okay. I've gone into it years ago, and if you're not going to find those videos now, but if you've been with me for any length of time, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's basically would put us to a digital currency or some form of currency that was much more stable. Things have changed in the last couple years to where some of this is not as viable as other parts of it. So, why am I bringing this up now? Well, we're kind of seeing it. Not in the form that I was expecting, but it's there. Nonetheless, let me bring up the highlights here. It's an X post, and I can't get to X right now, so give me a minute. Okay. Let me share this, and you can read along with me here if my computer will cooperate. I don't know what's up with the whole Windows thing right now, but it's really being a pain in the butt. Loading things and clicking buttons is like something my computer doesn't want to do right now. Okay, is this coming through? Let me check. Yes. Okay. So, Nesara Gesara basically would oversee elections, prevent illegal election activity by special interest groups. This was written prior to 2020, mind you. Okay, and a lot of this was hitting around 2020, so that's where that comes from. Create a new U.S. Treasury, and I don't like the rainbow currency thing, but this was basically if you've ever seen anybody else's types of currencies, such as Canada or Great Britain, their currency's kind of multicolored, and we only have one color in the United States, and that's green. So uh, by backed by the precious metals gold, silver, platinum, ending the bankruptcy of the United States, initiated by Franklin Roosevelt. Did I read that right? Is that a typo? Am I going insane here? Inundated. I'm sorry. Fucking my mind would not fucking read that word for a minute. Um, Ending the bankruptcy of the United States by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933. Um, well, that's more than uh, we've been in debt since the founding of this country, and I've explained that one multiple times. But we're kind of seeing that now. Okay, Trump has wanted to audit Fort Knox. Okay, that's a big one. That's a bigger one than the IRS, which he's also doing, which is bigger than the Social Security, which he's doing. It's bigger than these supposed checks we're going to be getting. It's a massive one. Okay, uh, the U.S. Department of Transportation prohibits the sale of American birth certificates as a property bonds. Basically, when you're born in this country, you become the United States property. Okay. That's part of where Trump wanted to end birthright citizenship. Okay. Not just for the illegals, but that's part of this. Okay. That's to prevent us from being property. When you sign a contract, you become property. Okay. We're talking the United States as a corporation here. We're not talking to the United States as a country here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up what happened in what 1871, okay, when they hijacked the Constitution and changed us over from a constitutional republic to a corporation. If you look at the spelling of the United States on any federal level or official business, it is all capitals, which indicates a business name. If it is written in such a way where the first letter is only capital, then yes, that is referring to the country aspect of the United States. Okay. You have to understand that these two factors, the corporation and the country, exist at the same time. We were sold out in 1871 after the Civil War to pay our debts because the banks basically had us by the balls and we had no choice. Um, I can go into that deeper, but that's the gist of it. Okay. Um, And it basically made us all property because we, as United States citizens, are in generational debt. Okay. We were sold out centuries ago. That's all you need to know on that. Um, Let me move on here. Establish a new U.S. financial banking system consistent with the constitutional law. Uh, that's kind of self explanatory. Okay, get rid of the banks that are taking advantage of us. Eliminates the Federal Reserve System. Huh. Kind of funny that we're kind of auditing the Federal Reserve right now. We're digging into Fort Knox, like I said. During the interim period, the Federal Reserve is allowed to work side by side with the U.S. Treasury for 1 year to remove all Federal Reserve notes from the money supply. I don't know about the removing the currency itself. Maybe naming it something else. Maybe backing it by something else. But I think we will always refer to the U.S. dollar as the U.S. dollar. Um, Now, being that Trump is auditing the Fort Knox, which is basically the Federal Reserve at this point, um, when it says work side by side with the U.S. Treasury for 1 year to remove all Federal Reserve notes, well, he's considered merging the Federal Reserve and the Treasury and Doge to give Doge basically ultimate power over these things to audit them and look into them. Uh, that's what I'm getting from that one. Restore financial privacy. As we know, they always look at your bank account. They know what you have. They know what you buy. They know where you go. Uh, we have targeted ads everywhere we look. I don't need to explain any of that. Okay. Number 7, train all judges and lawyers in constitutional law. Okay. In order to get that done, you have to get rid of the bad judges. Okay. You can't just retrain them. Okay. Stop all aggressive military actions by the U.S. government worldwide. Well, Trump is pretty well working on that. Okay. Uh, he didn't have any world wars, or I say world wars, um, world conflicts, skirmishes anywhere, etc. Um, Let me see. Am I missing something here? So, basically, that it's going to reform our currency. Um, where the Q boards come in is all these people that have taken advantage of us, and I'm talking the ones that are even being fired today. Okay, from pick a place, the Social Security services, the Federal Reserve, the pick one. Okay, everything that Elon is looking into, all these people that are being fired. Okay, this is part of the Q thing. This is part of the indictments. This is part of getting rid of the swamp. Okay. Um, Elon is pushing for indictments for these people, not just firing them. Okay. Um, we're fixing to see perp walks here, people. Okay. Um, When we said that there was over 500,000 indictments that were sealed way back in the day, not just due to trafficking and other Hollywood bullshit, but in general, worldwide, well, we've exceeded that probably 10 times over. Again, this goes back to 80% covert, 20% public. There's 20% you will know, and then there's 80% you will never know even existed. Um, y'all called me crazy, but I think we are actually seeing this stuff unfold for real. Not just hopes and prayers, but I think given all the setbacks, I think this is as close as we are going to get. Um, Elon coming in and stirring the pot, getting the swamp creatures out of there. Them firing up Gitmo for all the illegals and all these other criminals that they're rounding up. Because believe you me, I'm sure they're not just rounding up illegals. They're rounding up everybody else too. Um, what more can I say here? People are suggesting to Elon to give us back our tax money. Um, he said he'd talk to the president, and now there's talks of $5,000 per household. People are saying that that'll cause inflation. No, what causes inflation is when you have when you end up printing more money. Okay, um, this is not printing more money. This is just giving the money that is already in circulation back to the people. Okay, so theoretically, the value of the dollar will not diminish. You will have more buying power with that money back in your pocket instead of it just going off into sorry, instead of it going off into oblivion. So I think this is a good thing. I want my money back. Like J.G. Wentworth says, it's my money and I need it now. You know, kind of thing. Uh, they're saying that these checks won't be coming for at least 18 months. Okay, if you're thinking it's going to happen this tax season, no. Okay, because we're already done with the 2024 tax season coming up here in April. They have to wait to next tax season after that to do anything. So you're not going to see this for a year or year and a half, rather. So, um, let's see. There's other things going on, um, some of which I'm concerned with, some of which I'm not. Um, really, we're not doing too bad here, people. I know it doesn't look good given what's transpired. Prices do have to go up before they can come down. I'm not expecting inflation to stop right now because it's like the equivalent of trying to stop a train. You don't stop a train on a dime, okay? You don't stop any massive amount of anything. Fraud, extortion, global economic struggle on a dime. This doesn't happen overnight. Um, unless nuclear war happens, but that's a different story. Uh, let's see. that's about what I wanted to cover. Just wanted to remind you of it. Um, let's see. I think I'm gonna drop the link for my regulars, and we'll see where this goes. I'm not gonna be on here very long because I have work tomorrow, and I would like to go get some sleep. So just fair warning. So there's the link for my regulars. Miss Mischief, I think we've been extorted since the whole income tax thing in 18 what 67. I forget. It's in the 1800s somewhere. Grace, did I see that Detroit was frozen? Yes. Okay, that's just about south of me. 300 or so homes were basically flooded and then frozen solid. Hello, Jeff. Jeff.
Lord have mercy. I'm the
Hello.
first one up here. Damn.
That's the quickest I've seen you move in a while. Um,
No, I fell down the steps the other day. It didn't take me long to get to the end.
uh, Grace, yes, it was horrible. They're still cleaning it up, and supposedly a 4 foot water main bust open down there, and uh, it was basically a geyser for a good while.
Hello,
And
Miss
that,
Susan B.
and then it just flooded that whole west side. And those aren't exactly the most affluent homes. They're I wouldn't say they're Section 8, but they're not suburbs either. They're somewhere in between. So I feel bad for those people because they have nowhere to go. But I will give the mayor some credit, being that he's offering the people free hotels in the meantime. So that's always good. I'm glad that the mayor of Detroit has actually got some balls to handle some shit. For those that don't know, that's Mayor Mike Duggan. He's actually going to be running for governor, and I will be glad to be getting rid of Whitmer come this next election. Um, yeah. So how are you, Jeff?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Yourself?
Same old shit.
Yeah, SSDD, same shit, different day. And I see we got a couple of wannabe comedians in chat tonight.
Why? What's going on?
Well, we got Watt Life and we got Miss Show.
Okay.
And you know what? Mischief is laughing their ass off now. And not mentioning no names, but they was hoping it would be me and somebody else up here so I could show them how to grow a beard. And I'm sitting there thinking, my beard comes down to my collar. The other person's beard is down to his lap when he sits down.
What, you're talking to Bushcraft?
I know I'm not talking to Bushcraft.
Hello, Jim.
Hey, 101. Hey, Jeff.
Hey,
I think Jim needs to grow a beard.
Okay, my line of work, stuff will get stuck in the beard.
oh damn! Shut up, Jeff.
Tree needles, sap. Okay, if we get a rebate, you know what's going to happen? The people that didn't pay in the taxes are going to have a fit and say, "Oh, this is for, the rich people." Because
No, it has to. You have to. The thing is, you have to file your taxes.
yep,
Okay, if you're
And
not
then you will be
paid up,
taxed.
then you don't get any.
because you figure,
Okay, let me ask this question right here. How about people that don't file taxes no more because they don't make enough money? Do they get a rebate or not?
they won't get the rebate. Only people that file taxes. Almost half the country doesn't pay any income tax.
Then I'm screwed.
We don't know enough about it. It could have to do with, like, if somebody paid taxes most of their life and and now they're retired or on disability, they might get the rebate.
We don't even know if we're even going to get a rebate in
Yeah.
general. It's just a suggestion right
Yep.
now. So anyway, here's a funny one for you.
You motherfucker! Damn, there's 101 shoveling snow.
Today, my boss asked me.
Yep.
How much snow did you get? 101.
I
All
mean,
of it.
we have about 6 inches on the ground right now. It's supposed to get up to in the 40s later this week. Hopefully, all this shit melts.
Now, it's supposed to get about 70 2 or 3 times this week down here.
Oh, must be fucking nice, you little fucker.
This is the
Over here.
coldest. Sorry, Jeff. No. This is the coldest winter we've had since 2014 and 15. Now, Grace Johnson did a nice video. She thinks spring's going to be here soon because of the birds she saw. Then you got to remember, we could have snow in the middle of March. I hope not.
I think the birds will retire.
Oh,
Retarded
speaking of March, we found out the other day that we have to get a whole. What is so fucking funny?
I'm just reading chat.
We have to get a whole new fucking garage door. The door, the rails, the opener, and everything. Because over the last, 25 years since this shit was put in, the cold and the fact that my dad backed up into it with the tractor twice has put a strain on the door and finally burned things out. It works and all, but it doesn't work below freezing.
Is it a double door 101 or like for a single car?
It's a 2-car garage door.
Okay.
But that's going to be about $5,800.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, granted, that's a whole new system. That's rails. That's an opener. That's a door. That's insulated and like top of the line. And me and my mom were discussing, like, okay, do we cheap out and just get a $3,000 package and just have a door,
What do you
with a cheap opener, or do we spring for the extras and be this, a one-time purchase? The fact that I'm going to inherit the house, all this other shit, might as well replace it with good shit. So,
is the original door wood or fiberglass?
This isn't the original door that came with the house. This was put in 2001. But
I just wondered because my parents, the house I grew up in as a kid, they only had wooden doors back then.
It's a what is it?
Then they went to fiberglass doors.
It's an aluminum one.
Okay.
Your standard garage door. My neighbors across the street next door to me still have one of those old 1960s ones where the door doesn't bend. It's just a solid panel that swings up.
And you got to lift it by hand unless you have an
Yeah,
opener.
yeah. So there's still some old garage doors around here in this neighborhood, but they're few and far between these days. But $5,800 ain't exactly a chunk, easy going.
Because I don't have a garage door opener. Ours has one of those coil springs, and about 10 years ago, the thing broke. And just
Uh,
getting that replaced was about $300.
yeah, the guy said our springs on our doors are basically ready to break. They're so old. Um, the tracks are misaligned, and apparently somebody greased them years ago before we even bought the house, and we're suspecting that the door was having problems back then, and they kind of greased it before they sold the house just to make it work, and now that grease is basically frozen up and become a solid mess of shit. So
Yeah, yeah. There's little wheels. I don't know what the proper name is.
bearings,
Yeah, there's bearings inside those.
yeah,
And the guy that when we built the house, to put the garage door in is the same guy that repaired it. He said don't use WD-40 on
right.
that at all for some reason.
It wasn't WD-40. This was like almost like fifth wheel grease.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know, but either way, we both figured since I'm inheriting the house and uh, we're not going anywhere here in the next however long, might as well just bite the bullet and pay a little extra for a nice door and all that. I got to clean out the garage before that. We're supposed to be having it done uh, end of March, beginning of April.
But we cleaned our garage out 5 years ago, and we still don't have any room.
Well, no, we have to clean it out for them to put the door in because what they do is they lay down the door uh, on the garage floor and then lift it up, and they need the space. So,
Yeah,
but
our garage is full of farm equipment.
yeah,
It's always something.
I'm sure. Let's see.
Well, how old's the roof on the house?
Oh, we replaced that maybe what 10, 12 years ago.
Okay, so that ought to be good for another 15,
Yeah,
18
we're
years.
not. It's not. No problems with it whatsoever. We had one small ice dam one year, and that was the year that I had that power outage.
Hmm.
But that's because the house was so damn cold.
Because I had the roof done this past year, and they made a lot of changes. Actually, in Pennsylvania, you can't use tar paper anymore. They have to put down a vinyl underlayment.
That's fucking weird.
Well, it's better because when you get ice like that, where water,
Well, that also traps moisture. That vinyl.
that's the
Hello,
code.
ladies.
But either way, might as well have it done and move on. So if I'm not here on a weekend or two, next 2 or 3 weekends, that's probably what I'm doing is cleaning out the garage and such. So,
Hey, Harvest Mary Moon.
Good evening.
uh, let's see. So Cash Patel was put in charge of the ATF.
I saw that. Yep.
So that's a good thing.
Because look what the
Uh,
ATF has been doing. They've been, trying to rewrite the Second Amendment.
uh, we've been, yeah, I've been watching.
Yep.
Let's see, what else is going on?
And the ATF shut down the Seneca Indians with their tobacco products back
Uh,
when Obama was president.
back when who was president?
Obama.
Oh, really? That was that recently? Hmm.
Well, yeah, it was the Jenkins Act they used.
Uh, let's see. Uh, a cop escorting JD Vance the other day got hit by a car. That's another thing.
JD,
Where did that
JD,
happen?
I don't know where that happened. I forget. But what were you saying, Jeff?
did you say JD Vance got
Yeah,
hit by?
his motorcade got hit, or one of the cops escorting it got hit.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
They may have been aiming for the vehicle JD was in.
I don't think so. I think it was more of a freak accident the way they made it sound.
Mm. Well, it does happen.
It was a local cop. It wasn't part of the motorcade, but one of the ones that go ahead and block the intersection before they get there.
Sound like one of my cars. No brakes.
Yeah.
They just brakes shit. They just slow you down.
But you don't have any brakes on one of your cars, Jeff?
Uh,
No, Hey, you
CJ's
supposed
CJ
to. Look,
CJ
I'm
is
talking to
piss off.
you.
CJ is asking, is the Pope still alive? Yes, the Pope is still alive, even though he is currently in critical condition.
Well,
I'm not even gonna get into that whole thing because that's more Nesara Gesara reclaiming the wealth, etc. It's too convenient of a timing for him to fall sick, if you know what I mean.
I tell you that the current Pope basically excommunicated. There's one I found today, a letter to Trump from this guy, Archbishop Carlo Maria Villano,
Uh,
where he spoke out against all the stuff the current Pope was doing. And this
yeah,
guy was
I remember that.
isn't that a shame? The guy that was excommunicated would be a good Pope.
Well, basically, he knew about all the so
Yeah.
there's three different popes, right?
Yep.
The black, the white, and the gray pope. Basically, he was speaking out about their finances and shit, and he basically got shut up, mafia style,
Like Godfather 3.
if for the lack of better words. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie. Yeah. And a lot of people don't like Godfather 3, but I thought it was a good movie. Not as good as the first two.
So, uh,
And there's two candidates I've read about, and they're both liberal. One is from Asia and one is from Africa. They could be the next pope.
oh, Maria says I heard he passed away. What? Hold on.
I wonder if he knows that.
Hold up. Wait a minute. No, they're saying he's still hospitalized.
They were
As
giving him transfusions yesterday
eh,
for.
as of 29 minutes ago, he's in critical condition.
Okay, look at it like this because I don't want to say anything that would jeopardize your channel. Say somebody has a problem with their blood, like their bone marrow, where their
Okay.
white cell count is too high. Even if they had leukemia, if you kept taking blood from living people and transfusing it, you could keep somebody alive for years.
Yeah, the Pope has his own hospital in there.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've read, okay, the best thing is fresh blood, not refrigerated. And I've read that certain people back during World War II were doing experiments, certain doctors taking human beings, draining all the blood for them till they passed away to put it in other people. I mean, that is crimes against humanity.
Well, you do remember like in the 1800s where they would take a jar and literally it would go from your vein into the jar and then into the other person.
Hmm.
Uh, that's as fresh as you can get. I mean, but anyway, there was another comment here I wanted to see. Where is it?
Christy Cat, he's trying.
What?
I'm reading chat.
Who's trying what?
Nah, trying to do away with the IRS.
It'll take an act of Congress.
Not if we're in a state of emergency, which we are, and Trump has executive powers. So, I mean,
Yeah, but then
Trump's
it's going to be challenged in the court like everything.
that's later on. You can't challenge if you don't have any way of challenging it. If you get rid of the certain people that'll challenge it before the emergency powers are up, then there will be no challenge.
Because
So,
I predict we're going to see Pam Bondi go after certain judges in this country.
oh yeah, she's already said she was going to.
Yeah.
Is that a challenge?
I don't know. Was it, Jeff? Do you take it as a challenge?
I can.
uh, um,
No, I don't
This
have no.
Mexican lifestyle, and the best blood comes from the young people. Unfortunately.
can we stop talking about blood, please?
Okay.
Thank
Well, my
Damn, we got
blood is pretty old. Did you turn 64 yet, Jeff?
I plead the fifth on that one.
Okay.
you.
I have a few days.
Because the government.
Boy, Mitch really doesn't leave anything out of the censorship here. She's reviewing the Epstein files now. Yeah.
Yeah, she said they were on her desk. Pam Bondi said.
Yeah. So again, it's y'all called me crazy. Y'all said, "Oh, this shit ain't gonna happen. When's this gonna happen?" Or even if you did follow me, you were like, I don't see this happening. It's when's it gonna happen? It's happening. Congratulations, you've made it to the end.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. You are crazy. You are crazy, and yeah, you have been calling it.
Thank you, Dana B. No, I knew 101 was right on the money because I heard growing up, not to repeat myself, but my grandfather debated other economists when he taught at Dishonest College how Woodrow Wilson and FDR were ushering in socialism in this country. You figure the tariffs paid for everything the government needed until the Federal Reserve came about, and then they abolished all these tariffs.
Well, it's one big I told you so.
Yep. I don't want to say the exact date, Chrissy Cat, since I go by my real name, because if somebody online knows your birthday, who knows what they can find out about you.
Bambi says, I never called you crazy. I'm never saying y'all did, but there was some of you that were like, at the very least, y'all were saying, when is this going to happen? Why hasn't it happened? You were starting to question shit. Now, granted, I even questioned shit where it was like, okay, I can't be telling these people it's going to happen and then it not happen. Well, it just was delayed for obvious reasons. The fact they cheated, Otherwise, I guarantee you it would have happened sooner.
And Harvest Moon Moon, I've seen. Okay, it's like this. They're bringing gold here to New York City from Lincoln, and they're telling us it's for some bank. I'm thinking that gold is being returned and going to Fort Knox.
You do realize that the gold was returned, 2018?
From
we had at least $6 billion of gold bullion transferred back on one of our aircraft carriers from China in 2018. Now, I don't know if that was all of it at the time, but at least some of it came back then.
We ended up with about 8 ounces. Inflation struck hard.
And my thinking is we might go back to a blueback currency, not gold, because look how, with everything that's going on, the true price of gold could be a lot higher it could be $10,000 an ounce for all we know when everything is done. And you figure, back when I was a kid, the coins were silver up until 1965. And I remember, because there's still some my family saved the blueback currency. Before, they changed everything. You figure before we were born, it was redback currency. Then when Nixon took us off, you figured Nixon took us off the gold standard. But when Johnson was president, we had blueback, Federal Reserve notes. Well, the part now that it's green used to be blue.
Beach Omen, from what I understand, there wasn't none under there.
From under the towers. What are you talking from under the towers?
I think they mean under the World Trade Center.
You remember back in 2001 what happened?
Well,
they
yeah.
said that there was gold up underneath there, and when they went to get it, it was gone.
No, no. There was the FISA papers, the tax returns, the where the money went. That's what was there. Here's a funny one, Jeff. I'm sure you already saw this.
Yeah, and it's the truth too.
I'm here to remind you that the only thing keeping you from achieving all your dreams and having all of the things that you've ever wanted is probably money.
That's
it. Just lots of money.
In fact.
Yeah. like you think it's gonna go somewhere, like he's gonna be some kind of inspirational thing. No, it's just like, yeah, that's what's keeping you back is money. I thought it was funny.
What's keeping us back is the government and married life.
I didn't hear what you said, Jeff. What?
Oh no, but I'm getting some mean damn looks.
Here.
I said this. Okay.
So I got a whole mess of executive orders here that are now in effect.
First president from Alabama.
Traffic circles banned. We're going to build
Yes, please.
a net and make the mosquitoes pay for it. HOAs banned. Put the Braves back on TBS. No new Dollar Generals till you unpack the ones you got.
Exactly.
Barbecue north of Kentucky banned.
Yes.
Cornbread with sugar is cake.
Yes.
We are renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Mississippi.
No.
Ooh, can we do universal health care? That's a lot. Tell you what, we can do this. Everybody gets a Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
Snow banned.
He just banned snow.
Chick-fil-A must serve chicken minis all day.
Yes.
Oh, and bring back the old fries.
Yes.
All containers of tea must be labeled sweet or unfit for human consumption.
Yes.
All Finger Hut catalog debt forgiven. And last
I don't know what that is, but sure.
but not least, Walmart, you got to do the tap to pay. It's been around for years. What are you holding out for?
Yeah. Dude, I went to Walmart today. Oh my God, the people were fucking nuts.
Oh, did you see the price of eggs for for the what is it?
Flatless. The flat.
The flats and the cardboard boxes.
Yeah, like 50-something bucks.
Damn.
That's what it was at. Let's see, where was it?
I ain't heard that one.
It was at Gordon's Food Service. They wanted $58 for 12 dozen eggs.
Well, I
Well,
think
eggs-
Walmart has got 2 flats for $20.
They didn't have any eggs at Walmart, which is
Harvest
fucking
Mary
nuts.
I'd love to lay my hands on some farm fresh eggs around here. People are too damn scared.
Well, since eggs went up in prices, have Eggo waffles gone up too?
I haven't seen. I eat Eggo waffles, and I haven't seen those go up.
If there is such a disease going on with the bird flu, then why is it that it's just the eggs that are so outrageous and not the stuff, that's got egg products in it?
That's the whole point. Is like this egg shortage thing is not a
Yeah.
shortage. They're
No.
bullshitting. So here's another funny one. Well, I wouldn't say funny, but more of like a.
$10 for 18 eggs.
Well, I'll just let you listen to this. This is kind of strange.
So Waffle House is like, we're making breakfast and we're not closing under any circumstances. So they have a quote unquote playbook that's in every Waffle House in the country. And this playbook has every possible thing that could go wrong, like floods, hurricanes, fires. Here's the steps we have to do to stay open. If there's a hurricane coming, they designate what they call a jump team of other Waffle House workers from unaffected areas that volunteer to commute into a fucking hurricane.
Hold on, who volunteers for that shit?
To work at Waffle House while all the affected employees are at home managing their own families and houses. Waffle House is so good at staying open. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, uses Waffle House to determine how bad a natural disaster is. They literally have, and I quote, the Waffle House Index. Waffle House being closed is the fucking trigger to deploy the National Guard. I'm not kidding.
That explains a lot for North Carolina, I'm not gonna lie.
About right. You see a Waffle House closed around here, it's doomsday.
Well, you guys didn't like hesitate on agreeing on that one.
Why? It's the truth, ain't it?
I think we only have like 1 or 2 Waffle Houses up here.
Awful House.
No, we got plenty of those. Those are down in Detroit.
Yeah, just make damn sure when you go get sausage and gravy biscuits, they don't add nothing else to it.
Ugh, I hate places that do that. You know I hate places that do that.
I know it. That's why I brought it up. Harvest Mary Moon, $3 for a dozen eggs. It would cost me $40 in gas to get a dozen eggs for $3.
I'll tell you, the price of eggs being so high is going to hurt a lot of charities. When I was a kid, my dad belonged to the Collegeville Rotary Club. And the end of February every year, they would have a pancake breakfast. And they would have like all these scrambled eggs, like a huge, tray of that stuff. That's going to make prices. And you figure they do that just to raise money for charity.
The charity is called their back pocket.
Yeah, because the Rotary Club does do a lot of good, I think. But just like all these other charities, the money probably doesn't end up going where people thought it was going.
I want to say something, but it'd be best to keep my mouth closed in that ordeal.
Because even the local fire departments will have like some kind of a breakfast thing every year. And what do people like? Eggs. So the prices for for someone going to one of those breakfasts is going to have to go up a lot.
Well, there's restaurants down here charging, what is it, 50 cents to $1 extra for an egg now.
Oh yeah, they've been doing that shit around here for a while.
Well, they don't want us eating eggs. You figure, because I know from my parents being, when we had to put them in nursing homes, they would give them eggs every day for breakfast. Eggs, you figure, we were told when we were kids, you know, eggs weren't good for people and bacon wasn't good. That was to promote all the breakfast products that came out, like Pop-Tarts.
How about powdered eggs? Now, look, I know what I just said is a sin, but has the price in powdered eggs gone up?
It probably has, because that's just dehydrated eggs.
I know. I mean, I know what it is. I'm not trying to be an ass about it.
You say powdered eggs is a sin. I don't know about that, because if you gotta eat, you gotta eat.
I remember when I was a Boy Scout at summer camp, seeing them make the eggs. They put this powder in and add, I think, a little milk and water, and lo and behold, it tasted like real scrambled eggs.
Damn, you must have been starving.
I had powdered eggs one time and never again.
$7.29. That's about right here. For a dozen eggs, $7.29. That's about right here. Boy, talking about the chicken that laid the golden egg.
That's a duck.
Not no more. That
I'm sorry. That's a goose, not a duck.
Come on, man, get your damn bird.
Golden goose egg. That's what it is.
The golden goose, yep.
Around here is the golden chicken.
Hey, I love eating eggs, but I'm not going to pay that kind of price.
$9 for 8 ounces of powdered eggs about a month ago.
Bullshit.
And it's a lot of work taking care of chickens. My sister's chickens 2 years ago were all wiped out. They think a weasel did it.
Yeah.
They were in a fenced-in area. All these chickens basically, were killed in a not very nice manner. And I know she got some new chickens. I mean, that's a lot of work, though.
Sounds like that weasel didn't meet up with Foghorn Leghorn.
I'll say.
Well, they have turkeys too. And a few
What?
That weasel had herpes?
What? Did I just hear that right? Hold up. Wait a minute.
They got turkeys too. My sister's.
I'll do declare. I'll say that boy ain't right.
I've never heard that before. Weasel having herpes. How did they know that?
That boy ain't right.
They got livestock as an attraction to get customers there. They got a few goats. I think they have a few sheep. Because people in this area, people need to be entertained. And what better way to entertain customers is to have a petting zoo.
Yeah, if they want to be entertained, tell them your pet weasel got a herpes. That do it.
I think I remember, Jeff, because where I live, somebody has little kids and they go to a place that has livestock. That's a new thing for them to see.
Okay.
I mean, I'm one of the few old timers left in this area. No, I actually till soil. I don't spray weed killer all over the property.
Yeah.
God damn, eat my worms. You're a cat, son. Cats don't eat worms. You're taking the food right out of my mouth. I don't go around chasing mice. Stand up, boy. You're tripping over your own feet. Now you stay away from worms, and I'll stay away from mice. That's fair and square, and if you'd stop all your arguing and jawing, you'd see my side of it. Yep. Keep that mouth flapping and do no listening. Listen to blabbermouth cat.
I feel like that's yeah.
And I'll say it again. Mama told me if I ain't got nothing nice to say, keep my mouth shut.
You ain't learned.
Eric, you're not that old. You're younger than me and Jeff.
Who?
ER.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a really good person.
Oh, I know. I've talked to him right much.
He should have come up the other night on Bushcraft show.
Who?
Friday night.
I've kind of got. I can't.
I know you're busy. I have clairvoyancy. Hey, Larry Schulte.
Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down here. It's
Damn, you didn't hesitate.
He's running out of gas, I guess.
I know what's wrong with it. It ain't got no gas in it.
Out.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down here, and
Damn.
I guess I'll see y'all next weekend or the weekend after that, or who knows. I'll
In
be
the
around
future.
sometime soon.
I'll see y'all in the future.
You could always do a short video just showing us what you're doing with the garage.
I ain't doing shit.
Oh, hell. Tell him to do a short video on what he's doing with the truck. It'll be about 3 or 4 weeks.
Actually, I ain't been doing shit with the truck yet. But if I will say this, if I do get that $5,000 from Elon or whatever, I'm putting a bed cap on that shit.
Putting a what?
A bed cap,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Like you tired of hauling snow?
Yes. Anyway. So y'all have a good night. 101.
Out.